Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic.
I'm Barry P. Cook, and I want to talk about the premiere episode of Season 2 of Stargirl. I didn't think too much of it. They didn't really accomplish anything of much interest in this episode. I'm hoping the season gets better as it goes. Of course, the first season was full of all kinds of reveals because they were just starting to build the world of the show. This episode takes place in a world that's already built, and none of the events that happened in this episode were of any note, so I'm just going to run through quickly basically what happened. It starts out with a scene from about the 50s, the 1950s, and there's this creepy kid who's leading some other kid astray to the extent that she opens up a present that was meant for someone else at a party that she wasn't invited to, and the creepy kid zaps her when this occurs, and her mother finds her. Then we cut to the present. The Justice Society of America, the kids from last season, are patrolling their neighborhood or the city, but it's all quiet, much to Stargirl, aka Courtney's disappointment. We find out that Beth, aka Dr. Midnight, is having to deal with her folks getting a divorce. Then we find out that something with a big appetite is wrecking stores in the city. And I thought, gee, that could be Grundy. I mean, he sort of got beat up a little bit last season, but we don't know really what became of him. Next, we get a scene with Yolanda, aka Wildcat, in which she encounters something creepy while she's at church giving confession. Next, Courtney gets in trouble at school when she mistakenly thinks that her nemesis from last season is about to attack her and puts the moves on her, and she gets taken off Stargirl duty by Pete for 2 weeks. We go back to Beth. She's trying to get Chuck the computer going again after it was kind of messed with in the previous season, but she can't really get it to go, although she does eventually, but it doesn't recognize her anymore. So she's kind of alone without Chuck and her parents divorcing and all that. The only thing of note that really happened in this episode happens right at the end, where someone shows up at Courtney's house and is kind of stalking around, and it turns out to be Jenny Lynn Hayden, who is Alan Scott's daughter, Alan Scott being the original Green Lantern. She has his ring, and I think she's looking for the battery. I forget why she's there, but there's a crazy fight between Courtney, who's using the staff, and Jenny, who's using the ring, and it was just a cool fight, and that's sort of where they left the episode. Next week, we're going to see more with that, apparently, from the promo, but they didn't really get into any discussion about how she has the ring or any of that. Why does the ring work? That's all coming in this next episode. We're going to have to see how that all goes. But literally, this episode was like boring. Green Lantern! And then it ended. So I'm hoping the next episodes are going to be good. I really liked this show last season, and I was just sort of underwhelmed by this episode. I was like, really? This is it? It was very boring. So we'll see where it goes. I'll be back with the reviews as the episodes come out week to week. I'm going to take my leave for now, and I say, as always, peace and long life.